Reality doesn't change when you try harder. It changes when you stop running on autopilot. Now in this video, I'm going to share 3 ways to shift yourself out of autopilot and actually change your reality fast. Now, Bashar says that we are constantly shifting parallel realities throughout the day. And the reason that we keep experiencing the same type of reality is because we aren't changing. It's because we just run on autopilot. And so that's why we just keep experiencing the same type of things. So it's about breaking out of those autopilot patterns in order to create the shifts. So the first way to do this is to change the meaning. Realize this: life has no built-in meaning. It is you who gives things meaning. So for example, you could have someone that lives in an area that gets a lot of rain. And so the meaning that they give to rain is negative because they're so sick of the rain. It's always raining. It's always cold and wet. So they just get so sick of it. They're annoyed. They're irritated. So they give rain this negative meaning. And then let's say you have someone that lives in a dry area that hardly gets any rain. So the meaning that they give to rain is positive because when it finally rains, they're so happy, like, yes, we finally get to have some rain. So you see, there's no built-in meaning. It is you who gives things meaning. And meaning controls emotions. So if you give something a negative meaning, that's going to cause you to be in this negative emotional state. And then that's going to cause you to attract in negative experiences. So this is why it's really powerful. When you change the meaning that you give things, you're changing your emotional state, which changes your vibration, which then shifts reality. And so there's 2 ways you can do this, right? You can use it in your present day-to-day life, where whatever's going on in your life, anything that's perceived as negative, you find a positive meaning to give it. So then that way it keeps you in those positive emotions. And the way you give it a positive meaning is by looking for what it's trying to teach you. Or like, what are you getting out of this negative situation? Because in the negative situations, the negative experiences, there is always a gift in it for you. And that gift is usually a lesson. So it's about looking for the lesson or looking at what this negative situation is trying to show you, trying to teach you, trying to make you become aware of. When you think about it, like the positive good times that you have in your life, you don't learn anything from it. You don't have that same gift that you get from the negative experiences. It's not teaching you anything. So it's like, well, how do you learn? How do you evolve as a person? It's from those negative experiences and looking for the lesson. And so you can use it in your day-to-day life. Whenever there's a negative situation going on, choose to give it a positive meaning, look for how it's serving you. And then you can also use this for your past hurts that you may still be hanging on to. So for example, you may have someone from your past that betrayed you, and you most likely would have given it a negative meaning. That this person did you wrong, they betrayed me, they stabbed me in the back, I went out of my way to do all these nice things for this person and this is what I get back. You know, you may be in that victim mentality. And then if that's the meaning you give it, that's going to cause you to be in this negative emotional state. It will cause you to have this resentment towards this person that you're holding on to in your body. So you revisit the past hurt. Okay, this person did me wrong. It's the same idea. Look for the lesson. Look for what you learned from this situation. maybe you learned not to trust people so easily. I'm one of those people that I've always been like too trusting, and then, you know, you kind of get screwed over, but then you realize, oh, I don't, like now it's like I don't trust people as easily anymore. They have to earn my trust. So that's one way of giving it a positive meaning. So it's about looking at what you learned from the situation, give it that positive meaning, so then it causes you to be in a positive emotional state. And then this is what energetically frees you, because you're able to just let go of any resentment towards that person because you took the lesson instead. So this is why it's really powerful work. You change your story, which changes your state, and that changes reality. Now I'm going to share one of my own examples of this. So back when I was 19, I broke my back. I didn't find out until I was 25, and then I had to have a spinal fusion surgery. So I had to basically learn to deal with back pain as a young person, which, you know, that sucks, right? And it also stopped me from being able to go out and work like everyone else. And at one point, I even got depressed over it, because I was like, you know, this young person that's just sitting in a house by myself every day on disability payments, didn't know what to do with my life or how to make an income. And I could have given it a negative meaning. I could have wallowed in self-pity, been this little victim. Life is so unfair. Why did this have to happen to me? Now I can't work. I'll just sit on disability for the rest of my life. Wah, wah, wah. Whinge, whinge, whinge. You see how it's like really disempowering, and it's very much in the victim mentality, and it's very negative and low vibrational. So obviously, if I had that mentality about it, it's not going to serve me. But instead, I chose to give it a positive meaning. And the positive meaning is, well, I know, I can see how the back situation played a role in me having a spiritual awakening, because I was feeling depressed and I didn't know what to do with my life. So I jumped on YouTube to look up videos to make me feel better. And that's when I found one of my mentor's videos, Aaron Dowdy, and his videos sparked my spiritual awakening. And then because I, you know, broke my back and I was on disability, I wasn't stuck in the work, eat, sleep cycle. So I had all this free time to learn about spirituality, read books, watch documentaries, watch YouTube videos, and then take what I learned and actually put it into practice, because I had the time to practice meditation. I had the time to do inner work because I wasn't in the work, eat, sleep cycle. And then because of all of that, I am now building an online business where I am helping people do their own inner work, and I'm helping people create shifts and transformations in their life. I wouldn't be building a coaching business and helping others if I'd never broke my back. So you see, because I didn't let myself stay in that victim mentality, giving it that negative meaning, instead I give it a positive meaning and I can see how it served me. It's a much more empowering place to be. So I hope that story inspires you to, you know, give things positive meanings. Now, the second way to shift reality fast is to change your self-image. Your self-image is a mental picture of who you believe you are. So for example, have you ever noticed someone that will say, oh, I'm always late. That's just the kind of person I am. So that's part of their self-image. They see themselves as someone that's always late. And so because that's their self-image, they're always late. But if they change their self-image to someone that's always on time, then they'll start showing up on time. You may have a self-image of someone who's organized, so you're organized. Or you may have the self-image of someone who is disorganized, and so you are disorganized, right? So reality mirrors who you believe you are. And the problem is a lot of people have a negative self-image where, you know, they see themselves as unworthy. They see themselves in lack and scarcity. They see themselves in poverty. You know, if you want to make $1 million a year, but you can only see yourself making $60,000 a year, then that's all you're going to make, $60,000 a year. But if you change your self-image and you can see yourself as someone that can make $1 million a year, then you'll be able to start making $1 million a year. So your self-image plays a very big role in creating your reality. And like I said, a lot of us have like this negative self-image that keeps us small, stuck, and limited. And so this is why it's powerful to change your self-image, because when you change your self-image, reality changes to mirror it. And so it's like you know, if you have a self-image of someone that's wealthy, abundant, successful, these things will come in effortlessly for you. So the way you do this, the way you change your self-image is you want to create a new mental picture. So get a pen and paper, create this new mental picture of who you prefer to be. You know, someone that's wealthy, abundant, successful. You know, you may be someone that's always on time. You may be someone that sets boundaries. You may be someone that has excellent communication skills, whatever it is. Create a new mental picture with a pen and paper. And then once you've done that, commit to a daily practice, a daily meditation practice to wire in the new self-image. So this is where you spend like 30 minutes every day in meditation and using your imagination and start visualizing this new version of you, this new mental picture. Start visualizing yourself as someone that is wealthy, as someone that is successful, as someone that money just comes easily to, or whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into your life. And you just mentally rehearse this new self in the mind every day, using your imagination. Your imagination is extremely powerful. Science backs this up. They've done heaps of experiments to prove imagination does get results. It does make changes. And so if you're new to using visualization and imagination, you know, you might find you're in meditation trying to, you know, use your imagination to create the new self-image. If you find your mind wanders, don't stress about it. You just, as soon as you've noticed your mind's wandered off, just bring it back to the, you know, visualization of the self-image. Don't beat yourself up about it, because it's a practice. So the more you're doing it, the better you will get, the easier it will get for your mind to not wander off. So it's like anything. It's like practicing anything. The more you do it, the better you get. And then the key to changing self-image is also consistency, doing it every single day. And you'll start creating shifts in your reality. Now, the last one, number 3, is be spontaneous. Now, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that we keep experiencing the same reality because we just run on autopilot. And so autopilot is what keeps you stuck in loops. It's what keeps you experiencing the same thing over and over where not much is changing. Spontaneity breaks those patterns. So being spontaneous is a fun way to play around with reality and create shifts. Now the problem is like most of us have a routine. We do the same routine every day. You know, we wake up at the same time, we have breakfast at the same time, we go to work at the same time, we drive the same way to work, we drive the same way back from work, we have dinner at the same time, we go to bed at the same time. So we tend to just have a routine that we kind of do every day. And so it's about breaking out of the routine by doing random things, by being spontaneous. And I'll share some examples with you. So tomorrow morning, you may decide, I'm going to, instead of brushing my teeth with my dominant hand, so I'm right-handed, instead of brushing my teeth with my dominant hand, I'm going to brush my teeth with my non-dominant hand. So if I start brushing my teeth with my left hand one morning, then that is me interrupting the autopilot programs. And just by doing something as simple as that, that can create a shift. Or you may decide, I'm going to drive a different route to work this morning. And just by doing that, driving a different route, that can put you on a completely different timeline and create a shift. And so this is like a fun way that you can play around with reality and create these shifts, because when you do something different, reality must respond differently. So have fun with it. Be spontaneous. Do random things. You may want to call up one morning and take the day off work to go out and have a completely random day. Why not? I would do that. So that's it for the video. Those are the 3 ways you can shift reality instantly. If you got value, let me know by smashing the like button or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification. Thanks for watching. Peace.